All right, so today we're going to go over how to transplant a small plant and water it after it's planted. Now this is a small plant that maybe you planted as a seed and grew up, or maybe you purchased it from a nursery and you're going to plant it in its next home. This would work for a potted plant or in a garden. In our case, we're going to do it in a garden, but it's basically the same thing. Today we're bringing plants from inside to outside. Today is a rainy, cloudy day, which is a great way to reduce any shock that you might have from bringing a plant from inside to outside. So a rainy day is a great day to transplant. All right, so this is a tray of starts. We've got some kale, some bok choy, and some Swiss chard here. We're going to transplant a kale. We'll have to be loud here because it's rainy, so here's some kale. So the first thing that we're going to do is this soil's been amended with some organic additives. We're just going to make a hole a little bit larger and about as deep as your start is. These starts have extra plants in here. I'm not going to destroy any of the extra plants right now, but after they get through any potential transplant shock, I will cut out and cull and eat a couple of them so that the one survivor has more place to grow eventually, because if you grow too many plants too close together, they won't perform as well as you want a lot of times. So now let me go over that again real quick. So you turn it sideways like this. You squeeze the root mass a little bit, and then you take your fingers and you gently pinch on the stalk. The stalks are really brittle, so you don't want to snap them. So you angle it, you gently pinch, and then you grab the stalks with your fingers and gently pull it out. But before all the weight comes out, you want to grab that root mass and hold it by the root mass to support it. You want to try and not break those stalks. Some plants are more brittle than others. This is a nice, healthy, good developed root ball. If it's too root bound or there's too many roots, you can break it up a little bit like this. That'll help the roots branch out, because sometimes too root bound of a plant, after you transplant it, the roots will have trouble finding their way out of the root ball into the soil. Now we want the top here to be about level with the top when we plant it, or slightly lower. We don't want it higher. So we set it in there, and then we push the soil in around it, and we just gently compact the soil around it, making sure that the plant's at the lowest point there. And we don't want to push too hard, but we want to push a little bit because we don't want air pockets in there when we go to water it. Now Nature Willow is going to come on here and water the plant with a bucket and a dipper. You could also do the same thing with a watering kettle. Hi, Willow.
Hi, I'm going to be watering with this stuff. It's kind of soft.
Now, see how she's pouring around it and not getting it on the leaves? Some plants are more sensitive than others, and you don't want to drown it too much because you might knock it over. So that's just the perfect amount of water, just gently watered in, especially on a rainy day. And after it's watered in, the frequency of watering will depend on how dry it is. Two of the biggest mistakes people will make with a plant is to overwater it or underwater it. So, letting the soil dry out a little bit without causing wilt is a good idea. You have to water them more while the roots are developing. The bigger they get and the bigger the roots are, the harder it is for them to be droughted. So that's one way to do it. If you don't have very many plants, that's a great way. The way I usually do it is with a sprinkler, because that's gentle enough that it won't, you don't want a really heavy sprinkler that hits them too hard, that crushes them down, but an over-the-top sprinkler that just drops droplets down like the rain. Willow,
Yeah?
can you go turn on the black hose sprinkler over there by the rhubarb? That's the one, yep. So we've got a little manifold so we can run multiple sprinklers without messing with any hoses. So I have so many plants to plant that with all of those plants to plant, I don't want to have to hand water them all in because it takes too long. So I'll just run this sprinkler for half an hour or so and make sure they're all watered in good that way. So that is how you plant a plant and then water a planted plant.
Who's sprinkling over here?
It's sprinkling us.